It has been a tumultuous week in the same-sex marriage battle. We're into the second day of the House hearings, and more than 5,000 people have signed up to speak. Officials now say they've lost count of how many people have actually testified, so it's not immediately clear how long this could all last.
KITV4's Catherine Cruz has been following the developments every step of the way and joins us now live from the state capitol with our continuing coverage. Catherine.
Well, the House is saying this is the longest public hearing on a single issue in 15 years, maybe longer. The opposition appears to be overwhelmingly against the Senate bill, and some are questioning how lawmakers can ignore it.
The rallying cry has been at times deafening, but is the message falling on deaf ears? Mounting testimony against the marriage equality bill and the calls to let the voters decide has not relented. The governor has been monitoring the hearings.
I'm impressed with the sincerity and conviction of all of the testimony.
And when pressed about why so much opposition hasn't swayed his position, the governor cited the conviction of Abraham Lincoln and Martin Luther King on unpopular civil rights issues. And he questioned whether putting Japanese in internment camps should have been put to a popular vote in the 1940s.
It doesn't matter whether there's 10,000 views in another direction. If that one strikes home as giving an insight or a perspective that didn't exist before. So I listened to the testimony not in terms of what the numbers may be, but in the motivation, the perspective, the content of what's being said. That's the way you be respectful as a legislator.
It's a position echoed earlier this week by the Judiciary Chairman following the passage of the bill by the majority of senators.
Putting the women's right to vote, whether blacks can marry whites, and those kinds of things to a popular vote is inappropriate and, quite frankly, is out of step with the Constitution of the United States of America.
His prevailing thought:
we should try to put the best policy for all the people forward.
So the House is deep in the throes of what seems like an endless hearing. No word yet on how long this hearing will go into the night or when it might re-adjourn tomorrow. Back to you.
Thanks so much, Catherine. And confusion and fireworks kicked off the morning at the Capitol Auditorium. Several lawmakers and many who'd already waited hours to testify the night before were furious. The same-sex marriage hearing resumed as early as 8:30 this morning. After a wave of jeers, Chair Carl Rhodes had to renege on his initial orders to bypass nearly 1,000 testifiers who didn't show up on time. But it was Representative Marcus Oshiro with the loudest outburst of the morning, accusing committee members of breaking the rules.
You can do it in a conference committee, but not in a public hearing on a bench like this. That is the rule.
These are first-time testifiers driving down from Mililani, driving down from Laie, and they don't know what to do. So it just seemed unfair to me. And I felt like this is their first time in the public process, and so many people have a bad taste. They feel like this is corruption.
Rhodes says no new announcement is necessary for a continuation of the same meeting.